Hi, I wanted to go over with you about different things that can affect your ranking and get more business in for you. One of the key things is Google. The better you play with Google, the more they're going to like it and boost how you're seen. So one of the things, there's something called a Google My Business listing. If you don't have one, you should. And if you do have one, you should fill it out as fully as possible. Go through and do everything in there and really work on maximizing it. And so here you see, if you do a search for a company name, in this case it's mine, this box that shows up here is the Google My Business listing. And if you look, you'll see there are the reviews, and then down here there are where you can do posts. And if you don't do a post every week, they won't show up at all. But if you do the posts, it helps keep people on there longer. Google's looking to change things up before you would do a Google search and then go elsewhere. And Google is looking to try and have you on their site as long as possible and be more like Facebook, where people just stay there. So they're now doing messaging and other things. So you need to start working with the changes, and there are further changes coming in the fall that will be happening. So I did a workup on a company. And this is a mortgage company, and you can see they have the Google My Business listing. They only have 6 reviews, and they are doing the Google posts, so that's a good thing. This is a software package that I use to get an idea of how people are ranking for different keywords. If you just simply do a search, say you're trying to figure out how you're ranking for your own website, you won't get a very accurate result. If you've been to a site a number of times before, Google will move that up in the search rankings. So when you search for something and your own website comes up, you think you're doing a really great job. And unfortunately, it just means you've been to it a bunch before and you're not really ranking as well as you think you are. In this case, these blanks here with no numbers like at the top means that their website wasn't found for any of these search terms in the first 10 pages. Some of them I just listed as Baltimore, and some I listed I did it for White Marsh, which is where they're located now, and then I also tried Catonsville, which is where they used to be located, and in neither case were they found anywhere. If you do a general search, you have did mortgage company in Baltimore County, and here you see 3 companies come up in the map listing. These tend to be really good positions to have because people tend to click on these. So Federal Hill Mortgage came up first, and it has 204 reviews. This one has no reviews, and this one has 1 review. Now, if you're going to look at this, which one would you choose? The one with no reviews or the one with 204 and a 4.9 out of 5 rating? Most people are going to choose that. So they're doing a good job there. That is really key. That helps with the ranking and, like I said, also building out the Google My Business. If you look down here, there are different articles about mortgage lenders. But best mortgage lenders, top 10 best. The first actual company listed is a credit union, and then Federal Hill is the second organic listing, where it's actually a company instead of a directory of companies. So that means they're doing very well both on the organic and on the map listing. If you scroll to the bottom, you'll see all these other things that Google suggests for what you need to do, to other searches that people do. So you want to incorporate a lot of these into your content. One of the things that makes a difference in the ranking is content, whether it's something that's not just put in there to build out, but actually is useful and that people will look at and come back to. And so it's actually getting to the point where fewer pages can be better as long as there's really good content that people will actually use and stay on the page and read. And then if you look at this one, this is it did mortgage company in White Marsh, Maryland, which is closer to where they are. And here you have a different set of 3 companies. And if you come down to the bottom, you have a different set of things. So this would be yet another thing you could put into your website and have some of these terms in there. If you look here, this part is called the page title, and Google tends to work off of that. So you want to have a keyword in there, and preferably where you are. So this might be the name. So you have White Marsh Mortgage, and the company is Meridian Banker, but they are doing a good job by having a location and a topic right there, and then residential mortgage provider. So they're doing a pretty good job. They're also ranked high. Here, right up front, White Marsh, Maryland, and then First Home Mortgage. It's their name, but it also has what they do in it. And then you see, let's see, down here, looking for another company as opposed to just a general article. Anyway, you get the idea on that. So here is the company, and if you look at it, there's not a lot of text on the page, and the search engines work by looking at linking up text searches. So the more text you have, the better you can do in terms of getting found. If you look at, by putting SITE site : in front, you can get an idea of how many pages and what they're doing. In this case, it says 129. Never believe that first result. You need to come down. You can see here it's only 6 pages listed, and if we click here on 5, you'll see that now it says only 46 results. So that I always find you need to do that to get a more accurate result, because the things that come up with this 129 can be, sometimes it picks up photos and other things. So you want to have as many or more pages as your competitors, but not just fluff pages, things that are actually worthwhile. Then if I do Federal Hill Mortgage, here it says 97, but you can see at max 20 articles actually, and in this case it is 20. So they don't have very many pages, but they're doing something right. And I think one of the key things is the 204 reviews, and they probably are optimizing their Google My Business. Then if I look here, this is talking about the page title, which I've already gone over. The meta description, which is the description under the title, is what you want to have. If I go back here, you can see it. It's this part here. And that part you can have keywords in, but what you really want is to have something to catch people's eye to make them want to jump through to your website. So then on the page itself, you can set up things as a header tag. In this case, it's get a great rate on a new mortgage, which isn't bad. It's not the same keyword in here as you would have in the page title. That would be nice if you could have the same on both. And then you want to have supporting things on the secondary header tags. And there's also something called alt attributes, which is text that you put on a photo so that the search engine knows what a photo is about. And that is secondary, but it's a good idea to do. Then another major factor in ranking is how many people are linking to your site, because the search engines figure that if you don't like another site, you're not going to link to it. So the more people linking to your site and the stronger those websites are, like a news site versus Wikipedia is night and day. You're going to get a lot more strength out of Wikipedia. Those links are really tough to get, but So in this case, they have a link quality and link volume of 26 and 20, only for referring domains. So this actually isn't too bad. But if you look at where their backlinks are, they have from the Babe Ruth Museum, which isn't related particularly, but it's a really strong site. That's giving them all their thing, because if you look here, their ranking power is not, they're not getting much from anything else. You can see the zeros and all. So they're basically relying on this one, and even so, they're not ranking very well. Then if you look at the Federal Hill Mortgage, they've got a number of strong sites linking to them. And if you then look, their ratings about the same, but they have 31 referring domains. So they're about equal, but they're in a safer position because it's spread out over more links. Then the other thing is directory listings. This particularly can help with the map and something called name, address, and phone numbers, or NAP, should be consistent across all the different directories and places you're found. Because this company just moved from Catonsville to White Marsh, you can see it says 97% inaccurate. Partially, that's because there are some listings they're not on, but in a lot of cases they're old addresses here. So that's confusing to the search engines, and that will hurt you in terms of the ranking. So that's something that they need to do to get better ranking. And then on Facebook, I can go into some other things there, but it's probably about time, and so I will wrap it up. They don't have much of any reviews here, and they are old. If you click here on most recent, there's one from May, but then there's everything else is from 2020, 2019. So just like on Google, they're not getting many reviews. So that would help them if they got more of those. Thank you.